What is up, everyone? Welcome to Just Add Water Instant Classic. My name's Mike.
I'm Mike D.
And I'm Mike Waterheater.
And welcome, guys. It's been a little while. This is episode 8, I believe. And we have a great lineup in store for you.
Yeah, we do. Well, eighth episode that aired, there is a lost episode.
There's a secret 10-minute session me and Mike did once that
will be airing this following week.
It might never even appear.
Or it might be out this week. You never know.
It could be, yeah. We did one segment and then Mike had to leave for dinner. And so it's really short. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about now. Let's talk about
restaurants.
Concept restaurant segment.
Sounds like a good idea.
And I think Mike Wenner is going to take it from here.
Thank you, B. Mike. Okay, so, you clapping?
I'm clapping for you.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you for clapping. I'll clap back at you. So,
clap you.
Concept restaurant inspired by Maka Flocka Flame, attorney at law. His idea was sort of vague, and I kind of put it together because I have better powers than him. But basically, it's the idea of politically incorrect fusion restaurants. So, originally, I was discussing Asian fusion restaurants can work pretty well because we have Chinese food and Japanese food in one restaurant. They're both sort of rice-based, and I guess they're not very super similar, but you can get away with it.
In America, at least.
In
right?
America, people don't really care that much. But if you had really politically incorrect ones, like a Jewish deli with all German food and stuff like that, and then you had one. Did you say?
What did I have? Oh, well, so no, mine, I don't know if I have a good restaurant for it, but the one place where this is already happening is Thanksgiving. Is a politically incorrect mashup meal, which I thought was kind of interesting when we first thought of this, because you think, oh, it's going to offend people, it'll be funny, but then we already do it every year in the U.S. of A.
In what sense?
That Thanksgiving is the holiday. The story is that the colonists or the settlers and the natives here were getting along, and the meal reflects you have the corn, which was from here, and the settlers have it's kind of supposed to be a melting of the two traditions of having a feast together. But really, we came here and just took everything and destroyed them, and performed genocide on the entire continent in a lot of ways. So I think that's a politically incorrect meal tradition that we have.
So you could just have a Thanksgiving dinner just on the menu.
I think every time you eat it, you're just spitting on their burial grounds. So I think people are cool with this, even though it might sound people are going to be really weirded out. I also think there are some chefs out there who would be awesome at coming up with really crazy combinations that are politically incorrect, but actually are incredible.
Delicious.
Yeah.
I think you could have a nice, I would say an Arab Israeli, Palestinian.
It's just hummus, dude.
Yeah, that's their foods are so similar though. There's not.
It's just a hummus restaurant.
It would just be hummus and falafel, and there wouldn't be that much controversy in the restaurant itself. There'd be peace in the restaurant.
The restaurant would be divided, arbitrarily divided. There'd be different sections, and it would just be they'd all be eating the same stuff and very similar, but then they would just fight each other.
See, when you first said this concept to me, I was thinking of how the story could be told through the meal, sort of. And so I was thinking maybe the waiter brings over half cut pineapples and puts them down in front of everyone, and then starts throwing sushi it's Pearl Harbor or something, Hawaii, and then the airplanes are just the sushi.
So politically incorrect.
That's what you said. So that's where my mind was okay, how can we tell the story of something, and make the fusion? I don't know how pineapple sushi would be. Probably pretty gross.
No, maybe good though.
But maybe good.
Well, we also
and those cultures aren't incredibly
no.
dissimilar. But that's the only food I could think of that was like,
That's so messed
Hawaiian.
up, dude.
I
someone-
didn't think of this
someone-
idea. Okay?
Someone said right now a very relevant one could be like a Russia-Ukraine combo.
Oh yeah, Mike had said that.
I don't know if they have different cuisine though.
I think it's pretty similar.
It's just like slop or something.
What about
Borscht.
like baguettes for like France, and then like for World War II, you have like a thing of like German sausage that you just shove into it, and it just takes over the baguette.
Dude, that would be so good though. That'd be
That would,
delicious.
and that would be good, but it would be like the World War II
But then-
Maginot Line invasion.
Getting rocked.
But then,
Yeah.
then that gets stuffed in like an American cheeseburger, just right in the middle, and that takes over the
Yeah,
whole thing.
it could be. Yeah, you could be like, we'll have the World War II, please.
Yeah.
And like the first course is just like the baguettes, and then all of a sudden Germany comes in, and then the hamburgers come in later. Like you could tell the whole thing.
Yeah.
The place could be like a map.
That
of
makes
just
sense. If you
Europe.
want to tell like a little history lesson, it's like, okay, today we'll be doing the Civil War, and you could have some, I don't know,
Awesome like Southern comfort food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Battling
I would,
against.
Dude, Civil War restaurant would be great.
Yeah.
And you'd have to wear like
It'd be
you put on the
reenactment.
grays.
Yeah.
No, the waiters though. Would
Oh, they could all be like reenactors of
but
battles.
through food.
There are so many people who do that too.
Yeah.
That definitely
That
don't
would give
have
them
any
something
money.
to do
and
during the winter when it's like too cold outside to be out down in Gettysburg.
and they don't get even paid to reenact. You could actually pay them to be the waiters.
Yeah.
Well, I think they have other jobs.
Oh, you could have Abe Lincoln could be the host,
Yeah.
or maybe the chef.
But yeah, you could like it could your menu could be like a textbook kind
Mm-hmm.
of like a very small textbook that you can order, all these sorts of because there's been so many wars that you can come up with very like even Vietnam you can combine Vietnamese and American.
You
stuff.
could even do like I don't know if we have any idea about what the Cro-Magnon ate back in the day, but you could do like a Cro-Magnon versus Homo sapien menu. Where like we're Homo sapiens, so we ended up like crushing them. But Cro-Magnon might have had some pretty good food though, so that could be like an interesting. I don't know if they found any like cooking sites from them.
What would be another good war?
Fossilized.
What would be another good war or like history to teach?
You
through
could go
food?
really far back. You
Yeah,
could do a
like
whole journey. You could
Renaissance.
do a whole journey of the Jewish people being oppressed.
Yeah.
Like all the the
Yeah.
Egyptians. Like you could do all the different the Romans. Like you could have all those and have like the Jewish food also throughout the whole meal.
You have to like wait 40 minutes in between, like for the for like the time they were spending in the desert with minimal food, and then you finally get all like the fish,
Milk and honey
manna
and
or
delicious
whatever.
food.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what Passover is. It's retelling the story, and like all the food symbolizes something. Each thing supposed to represent like the brick and mortar they used to make the pyramids. That's like one dish. Another one is like really salty to represent the tears and stuff. So I think the Jews may have a leg up already.
Yeah, that would be a
They
great.
already do this.
Like you could,
Yeah.
that could be a place where families who don't want to like
Yeah.
make all the stuff, because I know some of those can take like a lot of effort, Seder dinners and whatnot.
Yeah, Seder dinner's whole point is to retell the story, so you could do like Seder dinner
Seder
for
night.
Yeah, Seder night.
Or you could do
for
it on other days.
other wars.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stories.
Yeah.
Should spread to different religions.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other possible conflicts that
Well,
would be.
You could
that
do
would
like
be interesting.
the Ireland potato famine, but then there'd just be no potatoes. That would
That's
be
the
the meal.
cheapest meal
Yeah.
on the menu.
You have like a party of 6.
One-
1/3 of the people have to get up and leave. The other third get nothing, and then the other third actually get the potatoes. Like what actually happened in
They
Ireland.
split like one potato.
Like a third people have to go to the restaurant next door because they're the people who immigrated to America.
That'd be great. That's our lineage.
Yeah.
That's how I
So,
got here.
yeah, me too, man.
But I love potatoes now, even though they're an evil food that almost destroyed our people.
Yeah, I love potatoes so much.
All right, well, that was a nice transition.
I like that. I'm in on Civil War Restaurant if anyone wants to open that. I think that'd be a great restaurant.
Should we go over the parameters real quick?
Yeah, you could have I'm trying to
Civil
think
War
of-
Restaurant is gold.
I think you can have like a I can't remember his first name,
Robert E.
Sherman.
Lee?
No, the Union guy who like burned all those villages. You could have like a Sherman like flambe for dessert where he just sets it on fire.
Yeah, he burned everything.
He just like was he was the worst guy on the Union side. He was horrible because he just burned entire towns.
He was really good
The Seahawks?
strategist and stuff.
Yeah, he was brilliant,
He was
but
brutal.
like just like unnecessary roughness.
Flaming
Tons
desserts,
of flags
though.
were thrown. Like Stonewall.
Oh man.
Stonewall Jackson's stone soup.
Stones.
Pebbles in it. And then you get and then someone has to stab you with their fork, one of your own
A
family
Benedict Arnold.
members.
Yeah.
Shot by his own men. Good old Stonewall.
Benedict Arnold Palmer's.
That would be great.
Because Arnold Palmer wasn't alive then.
No, well neither was Benedict was earlier, but
Conflicting.
but you could definitely have like a whole American.
Yeah.
You could order the Revolution. You could order 1812. You could order.
1812 doesn't.
Yeah, we kind of lost.
Yeah,
that
we got
one.
we oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
Oh no, yeah, sure. Second segment.
Yeah,
segment.
So Mike D's going to talk about something that's really important in technologies.
Whoa! Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, be ready. If you don't know
These are not the droids.
what a computer is, then you might not want to listen because this might scare you.
The future.
There's a company. It's called Twitch. It's a video streaming service. They make all their money because people are starting to really enjoy watching video games being streamed on the internet. So like watching a professional video game player play for like 6 hours, and they'll show you advertisements. And so they're getting like a lot of people to watch, and they have a really good like advertising network built in and platform. So Google tried to buy, or YouTube tried to buy it for $1 billion. I don't think it went through. The company's probably worth $2 billion by now and climbing pretty quickly. It's starting to also spread to like other stuff. People are getting creative with it. Boston Mike brought up something interesting that they've been doing. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Sure. Yeah. So originally, they're sweeping the nation was this thing called Twitch Plays Pokemon, where they rigged up the original Pokemon Blue with just the chat room on Twitch, so that when people typed in instructions like up, A, start, right, that the actions would be performed in the game. And eventually this became so popular that there were up to like 200,000 people at a time playing this game. And I want to say they beat it in like 2.5 weeks.
Something like that.
Or something, but it was just going 24/7. And it was just like a really interactive, like, original idea of playing this. But people have like... Someone recently made this thing called Fish Plays Pokemon, where they set it up so that where the fish swims in the bowl that it's in actually like affects where the player moves in Pokemon. So no one actually does everything. People just log in to watch this. And I think it started early last week. My buddy Tim from home is the one who pointed it out to me. And he like spent like 2 days in the upstairs of the original house where you start the game, and then eventually made it downstairs, went back upstairs, and people were like losing their minds. And I think he recently got outside the house like yesterday or something. It's definitely possible that he's back in the house. Who knows? I have no idea how this is going to work. I know with 100% certainty this fish is dying before the game. Before it comes anywhere near beating this game, so I'm guessing they're going to replace the fish or something.
With more fish.
Yeah, probably.
Smarter fish.
And so it's people are getting very, very into Twitch TV.
Yeah, so I think that's like one direction that it's going is this idea of like creating some interactive or automated way to play the games, which has been funny, and it's like a novel thing. And whoever started the Twitch Plays Pokemon certainly made like a bunch of money because of the advertising, because they had 200,000 eyeballs to watch ads or whatever. Another direction it's going, or could possibly go, is into like traditional sports. So instead of like video games, video games this works really well with, because playing the game when you're just like messing around is actually like very similar to playing it when you're playing really seriously. Whereas in like football, you can't physically like play a game every day or like 10 times a day. But in video games, you could play for like 10 hours every day. So people watch because it's like the product is just as good and it's free to watch. But I think football wouldn't really work because practice isn't that fun to watch. But maybe like basketball. I think like the Cavaliers, because now that LeBron's back and there's all this like buzz around it and the trades that are happening, I think people would really watch they would watch like everything. If you could, they would watch like every single thing that's going on, and they would gladly watch ads. Like it would be a whole new stream of revenue for the NBA because now they just signed the big TV deal, and that's like the money they get. But I think it opens up like this Pandora's box kind of like how do we distribute content and like what's actually watchable and viewable and worth like money.
So two things is one, I don't know if teams would want to give up. Like their secrets of practice. So I'm not sure about that. Maybe basketball's different because it's more just like scrimmaging. But also too, what do you attribute the rise in people wanting to watch? Has that always been a desire, but now that there's better streaming in the internet, that's where it's coming from? Or is there some other...
Of the video games?
Yeah. Is it like have people always wanted to do that, and now that it's available?
A lot of it's probably just trial and error. Like, who knew that that many people wanted to play Pokemon in such a crazy way where everyone's just typing instructions and the guys walking around in circles or just pressing start like over and over again for like 2 straight minutes? Like, who knows?
Part of it was technology, right? So remember when YouTube first came out, the buffering was like forever, right? You wouldn't even possibly think of doing a live streaming thing. It just would be horrible because you'd lose so many frames. It would just be choppy. So part of it was like the internet catching up, and this company that is now Twitch, it was the parent company is called something else, and they've been doing this for a really long time. So it's like it's one of those things where it was like a overnight success, 10 years in the making, right? Like the last year or two have been really big for them, but they've been doing this for like 10 years. Right. So it's not really an accident. As to like the Pokemon thing, totally just someone having like a funny idea and like spending a week or something rigging it up, right? And making sure that it works. It's really funny. But as for live streaming, now that that's in play, like there's all sorts of crazy possibilities for it because it's super cheap to do, and like cable's not really like the main source of content for people our age, I would say. Absolutely. So like you were saying the Truman Show or EdTV or something like that. Maybe
another iteration is it's all about the rise in demand for content. Now that we can view it other places on mobile other than TV, there's been a rise in demand for content. I think that's where it stems from, and quality plays whatever significance you want to call it. But my idea, I like the Boston Mike idea of you control the game or whatever, but it'd be funny that if there's like a human version instead of like Pokemon video game. So there's just some guy who like always was wearing Google Glass. Maybe he had a secret film crew, but his life
was a GoPro attached to his head or something.
GoPro and a Google Glass. So basically a bunch of decisions in his life would be made by people in chat rooms. So it's like, oh, what am I eating today? And then like a bunch of votes would come in, like, and then he'd have to order whatever it was in the menu. So like it could be like real decisions, like, oh, I made a burger, or like an egg salad, like disgusting combination.
People would put like dog turd, toothpaste, like random stuff like that.
He would just have to do it no matter what, or like he's like, okay, I'm about to go talk to this girl at the bar, like, what should I say? And then he's like, hey, like, what's your name? Or the one that would get voted would be like, can I sit on your face or something like that. So just having a bunch of decisions made by sort of like a shared economy, but just real life.
Yeah. So this, I think it's fascinating. I think it'll happen and it'll be really funny. But 4chan does this already somewhat. So sometimes there will be like a live stream of like Times Square or some city or something like that, just live stream online for some reason. I don't know if the government puts these up, but someone will post it and will be like, okay, like whoever I'll pick like whatever random person. You get to decide what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go do it in front of this camera. So then like a bunch of people will be watching this camera, and someone will be like, you have to go in like a dinosaur costume and go like knock over that hot dog cart or something. But like sometimes they actually go do it, and it's so funny because it's like then you also see just the random people that are there that have like no idea what's going on. This crazy person. But if it's already happening like a little bit, it's definitely gonna happen as like a big thing, and it's gonna get really, really weird.
Man.
I think.
Yeah, it's a really interesting just thing to know about. Like, go check out Twitch. It's twitch.tv, right?
Yeah, twitch.tv.
And just like browse it. There's just you'll find something probably that you like that you would have no clue that people were just sitting at home streaming it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool. The idea of streaming is a really cool concept, and anyone can do it. I think it's where you don't need to have a film crew. You can have an iPhone or a GoPro to do it yourself. But that's a really cool idea, like past video games. I think watching sports practices.
I think it's like a big. It's like a big. It's an uncoupling of what's actually interesting to people from like these channels. So these people are playing video games at the moment, but like. If they're doing it and they have 100,000 people watching and they click a button and 100,000 people just watched a 30-second ad, they like over the course of a night of streaming for 4 hours, they're gonna make like thousands of dollars when they never ever could do this. And these are like video game people that don't even draw that many viewers. But imagine like LeBron or something doing it and streaming like his afternoon.
Yeah, or
and maybe he like plans all this like exciting cool stuff because you don't want to just watch him like sitting there. And then like it shows ads throughout, and it's like all the sponsors that he has, and like he could make a ton. And there's a lot of like celebrities could make a ton of money if they get in on this early.
Imagine if there's a live stream of this show, we would be billionaires
with Wendy's as the sponsor.
Yeah.
We'd have to get with our contract we signed with Wendy's. They'd probably take it all. Really screwed us.
Well, speaking of food,
options.
I have a question of the day.
Ooh, question of the day.
It's
is
not,
it a comment
it's
or
not
is it
really,
a question?
No one actually commented it. But someone posed this question to me at work. And I think that it really goes straight to the heart of what, like the core of humanity. Where, are you this or are you that? You know? Like one of those type of things.
There's a dividing line here.
Is marinara a condiment?
Marinara sauce, like with shrimp or whatever?
Yeah.
No, that's cocktail sauce.
Or like with like mozzarella sticks.
Okay, that one.
But also the thing that's like with meatballs.
Yeah, it's a sauce.
Right.
Oh, but for mozzarella sticks, it's a
right.
condom.
Condiment.
Condom.
Because someone who's told me this and was like, "Oh yeah, definitely, it's definitely a condiment." I was like, well, "Wait, what? No, it's not.
It's definitely not a condiment."
That's what I think.
We just had it we didn't order it this time, but we just had it as a condiment when you mozzarella sticks.
But it can be used as that. I could take chocolate milk and use it as a condiment. It doesn't mean that it's a condiment at its core.
That's what my instinctual answer was. If something is sometimes not a condiment, it's not a condiment.
Well,
like ketchup is never not a condiment. It's not like people like use ketchup in.
Yeah, you cook with ketchup.
I mean,
all the
you
time.
can use it as an ingredient because you can use any food as an ingredient.
Right.
But I mean, like when ketchup is sitting at the table at your restaurant or something, it's not like
it's not the meal.
Yeah, like
ever
marinara
at
is sometimes like a very important component of a dish.
It's a sauce.
But
okay,
I get when people say that it is a condiment just because like it's an ingredient like anything else.
What about mayonnaise?
That's just disgusting.
Mayonnaise, I would say, yeah, is a condiment, but also I would give it the 1 star on Yelp because you can't give it 0 stars.
It's a highly detestable condiment.
Yeah,
I would say it's despicable.
It's made of eggs.
Are there any condiments that really?
How many things can you think of that you would say without a doubt are a condiment?
Relish.
Like mustard?
Relish is the worst.
No, I like relish sometimes. Real relish, like actual like hipster.
But that's a condiment, right?
No, you can cook with it. I've had marinades that call for.
I'm not saying that it's not the question of whether you can cook with it.
Because I think then there would be nothing that's a condiment.
You could cook with
I'm
any
trying
of
to
them.
play devil's advocate for the marinara sauce, so I'm just trying to figure it out. Because you said it was a very thought-provoking,
I think it is.
but I'm only seeing one side of the argument. I'm trying to take the other one.
Oh, you agree that it is not?
Yeah, what's the
a condiment?
argument for it being a condiment? That it gets served as it sometimes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. Or that like there's a lot of dishes that come with it. You're like dipping stuff into it.
There was a Supreme Court case that actually if it looks like a duck and it sounds like a duck,
Yeah.
it's a duck.
Yeah.
But I think that's stupid.
They just use that for Aereo.
Yeah, I think it's stupid. I think it's short-sighted, and I think marinara sauce is not a condiment. It can be used as it sometimes, but I don't think it is.
I agree, but
It does look.
when I had this discussion, it was with like 4, maybe 5 people
At the WB.
at the and they all of them, maybe one other person was on. I said all said it was a condiment.
What were their arguments?
You know, it was actually a few weeks ago, so I can't quite remember.
were you eating somewhere and that it was currently being used as a condiment?
Yes,
Because that frames it usually.
I think that's what.
That's big because it's like, oh yeah, right here it's a condiment. I see that.
Yeah.
But then big picture maybe. You think like, oh, that's
I
a
think-
really versatile sauce.
I think I think like their argument was just kind of like it can be used as a condiment, so it's a condiment. Where
Right.
mine is like I try to I have in like my head more of a very distinct line where things are and things are not. And condiments like ketchup, I'm just like, yes, that is a condiment. And marinara, I'm thinking of all these times that I've had marinara sauce on my spaghetti meatballs and my chicken parm and all this stuff. Oh, so good. And I'm like, it is no way. I also am possibly should be removed from this question because I don't use marinara sauce on mozzarella sticks. I just
You
eat
should have-
mozzarella sticks.
You should have recused yourself.
So,
a while ago.
yeah.
What are you talking about?
You definitely should have, and I should as well because I don't use it either.
I use it in both applications. I use it in both applications. Therefore, I think I should be right, and I'm going to say that it is a condiment. And that's the end of our show.
Yeah.
So I won. Thanks, guys.
I mean, that's fair, man.
Man, I'm recused.
Recuse yourself, fool. I think that's all the time we have for
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
all 12,000 we had last
Yeah,
week.
I think I forgot to check our Twitch.tv stream, which probably got to Pokemon
Yeah.
level, possibly.
Next week we'll be doing a live stream, and you can tell us what to do and what words to say. We'll do it live.
for 25 minutes.
A lot of heavy Wendy's ad spend next week. So
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thank
We
you.
love you.
thanks.
We'll see you next time.